How are we all doing? I have been reading your comments, laughing my head off while that intro was played. Some of your comments, I'm going to put them on the screen in a minute. but some of them are proper funny. Welcome to our watch along for England v Malta. Yeah, hopefully we're going to see some form of Watkins, some form of Konsa. I hoped one of them would be starting, but, you know, what can we do? What can we do? This is Southgate ball, and unfortunately, by looking at the team, it's not that great. So, fire away your comments in the comment section down below. I'm going to just go back to the third comment of the night was this one. So we're starting off the stream going well. Shout out, mate. Hope you're all right. And then this one made me laugh as well. I'd have to agree. The players are managed by the best players in the world at club level, and one-eyed ferret could don a suit and pick a starting 11 at an international level. We've got Bozzy in the building. How are you? Philly D is in the building. It's Malta, folks. We have to be careful and only play 3 out-and-out attacking players. We're going to get into the team in a minute. But fortunately, it's the same old story. Out of the trash. How are you, my good friend? Hope you're doing well. Let's just see who else we've got in here. Mark Guay. Yeah, I'm not convinced on that either. I'll be honest with you. Evening, love bleeds. We'll do score predictions in a bit, so we'll do our score predictions in a minute. So let's just have a look then at the starting lineup, and let's just bear in mind that England are virtually qualified. So we're virtually qualified. Let's just get rid of that one and we'll go on this one. So England are virtually qualified. We're playing Malta at home at Wembley. And this is the team that we've gone with then. So Pickford, Trippier, Maguire, Gueye and Tomori. We've got Trent Alexander-Arnold, who is kind of in that midfield role, isn't he? So he's in midfield. He's sort of in that area that he's playing for Liverpool. Gallagher and number 8. I mean, come on. Rashford, Kane, and Foden. So my initial thoughts on this team are conservative, too samey for me against a team like Malta. I think if we're playing a team like Malta at home, let's see some of the players that are in the squad that are maybe on the fringe, but are actually playing quite well in the Premier League at the minute. But then this whole Trent role of him being in this midfield role tonight, I just don't understand it, because I would prefer if he was playing at sort of right back and then he was inverting centrally. We were going with a 3 at the back. There was some sort of technical, tactical nous in this lineup, but it's just a 4-3-3. I like that Foden's playing. I really rate Foden. Does Kane need to be playing against Malta? Definitely not. And then Rashford, I think he's in real poor form at the minute, so I'm not sure why he's playing. So, you know, I'd have liked to have seen Cole Palmer in there. If we have a look at the bench, we've got Sam Johnson and Ramsdale. Again, Pickford, does he really need to be playing at home against Malta? Can Johnson have another game? We've got Kyle Walker. We've got the main man, number 14, Ezri Konsa. Rico Lewis, you know, could he maybe have been at right back to see what he's all about? Declan Rice, I agree, and I'm kind of glad that there's not 2 sitting players in this lineup. Cole Palmer, Calvin Phillips, Jared Bowen, Ollie Watkins, Bukayo Saka, and Jack Grealish. So, what's everyone's thoughts on the lineup then in the chat? Let's fire through the chat and see what your thoughts are on the lineup. I'm just a little bit, just a bit boring. That's what I think the word for me is, boring. Out of the trash has put 5 at the back against Malta. Almost certain it won't be a 3 with 4 backs thrust up the pitch like Villa and others do. Sometimes I think Southgate is just trolling us. No Konsa and no Ollie either. We've got Michael in the building as well. see where are we with the game? Right. So yeah, my stream weren't even on then. But there we go. Right. So Daniel's put, I'm happy for both of them. But they can play. But if they don't play, then what's the point? Well, exactly. He seems to be very heavy on Mark Guay, didn't he? I saw that interview. It must have been a couple of days ago where he was basically saying that I think it was to do with Konsa and Konsa getting in, and there was that pecking order of where Konsa sort of fits in, and he's sort of, they were saying, is he behind Tomori and Gueye, etc.? I'm not really sure what, I mean, the pecking order, what's all that about? But yeah, so he's not even in the sort of pecking order concert at the minute, and he's got to try and fight his way in there. What are our thoughts on Tomori? Do we rate Tomori? Do we think? I mean, I know we're all going to be quite biased on here and say that Konsa's better than Tomori, but I actually think, not Tomori, Gueye. I actually think Konsa's better than Mark Gueye by a country mile. Like, I think he's got more athleticism about him. I think he's got a better turn of speed. I think both are probably decent on the ball, but I think Konsa's got better attributes of stepping out from centre-back over Gueye anyway. So, what are your thoughts in there? If Watkins comes on, he'll score. Southgate is trying to say to the media before the game that Malta pose a different problem, as they will sit in and we will have to break them down. I think that's most international team against England anyway, isn't it? Just sitting in a block and just seeing. Is that Pavlidis? Is that Pavlidis who plays for Alkmaar? No, that looks a bit like that Pavlidis. But yeah, I just think it's just, I'm a bit just mixed where England are. Like, we're going into a major tournament, and I guess I know what our starting lineup's probably going to be. It's going to be, obviously, Bellingham's in there, Rice is in there, one of someone else, of a Phillips, or it's going to be a Henderson in there probably. But it would be nice to just know what the second phase of that is. Like, if we do get a big injury, and I just think we're still just scrambling around, and I like Trippier, but I'm not on the international stage for me, not for England. That's too tactical for Southgate. Foden is class. I bet Konsa and Ollie won't start against Macedonia and are each limited to 30 minutes. Well, that's the thing. Like, you would probably rather start those players at Wembley, like Watkins and Konsa, rather than away at a hostile environment. I don't know. That's just the way I would imagine that we would have gone. We do have quite a few people from Malta that actually watch this channel, to be fair. So if there's any Villa Malta fans in the chat, then let us know. Unfortunately, mate, that's all Southgate knows, and he loves his favourites. It's just this Henderson thing as well. I just don't understand it. I just really don't understand it, because I was listening to the interview before the game, and they were speaking about Sterling, and Sterling sort of why Sterling's not in. And, Southgate was saying that he goes partly on current form and that they can play at the level on the international stage, and they've done it and been there before. I actually like Sterling. I think Sterling's a good player. I think he's come on a lot since, that time when he'd sort of miss everything that came at him. And this season he's got 4 goals in the Premier League and 4 assists in a side that's sitting mid-table anyway. As opposed to like Henderson. Just someone make it make sense. If it makes sense to anyone in the chat, then let me know. But it doesn't make sense to me. So I think Justin and Ryan might be coming on in a bit as well. So that's why I've got the headphones for when they come on. Agreed about Palmer. Would love to see Ollie and Palmer get some time. Like, he's playing so well. Like, we speak about some Villa players, and when we say about, sometimes some players need that period to adapt and settle in and, get used to playing for a new team or vice versa. Cole Palmer has just gone from Man City into that Chelsea lineup and started doing bits. And the other thing that I like about Palmer is his mental strength, because he takes all these penalties. Cole Palmer took that penalty last week against City, the pressure on that to get it 4-4, and he put it away. You know, I thought that was such mental strength from that young kid. And he deserves to be playing. And I think that's what we should be doing with this England side. Should Cole Palmer play ahead of Marcus Rashford? 110%. Like, Rashford, he's in such poor form. Rashford, he's absolutely terrible. It should be nowhere near it, in my opinion. Absolutely nowhere near it. And that's what I just don't get. You've got Sterling and you've got Rashford. The one that's scoring the goals and that's getting the assists is sat at home. The one that's in poor form is starting at Wembley. You know, and this is the thing that when Southgate talks about success, and he spoke about before the game that this is England's second most successful period. And I just kind of think, like, what have we done? Like, we've got to finals, we've got to semi-finals. Why do we think failure is success? You know, this is an international team. This isn't a club team that can build on foundations and improve. And if the team's being sort of like mid Premier League and they get top 4 or whatever, and they're building and they're growing, this is like England. This is one of the biggest footballing nations in the world. And yeah, we've been crap for quite a number of years, but I just feel like this whole like success based on us getting to a final and a semi-final, I just don't buy it, really. I just think it sends the wrong message to me. So yeah, that's just my little England rant. There's quite a few of you in here, so if you do want to hit subscribe, or you do want to smash a like, it'll just help get more people in here. And we are away, so the game has now kicked off. Malta, little stutter from the centre back. Where's he going? I mean, look, it's like he was going to go through the whole team when he picked up the ball. Then, so try and fly through the comments as well. The Malta lineup now. Do you really want me to try and butcher the names? So we've got Bonello in goal, Borg the captain. We've got Pepe and Borg again. So there's 2 Borgs in this team. Kamenzuli must be a wing back. Tamua, Gulamoya in the middle, number 6. We've got Yankam, number 20, and Bong, number 7, and Bong, number 9. So there's 2 players with the same name. No, there's 4 players. 2 of them have got the same name, and the other 2 got the same name as that. And we've got Reed up front. We've got Kemar Reed up front. So there you go. Those are the names of the players that are playing for Malta. So I'm going to try and quickly go through some of the comments. Yeah, I think I just don't understand why Henderson's playing. What we'll do now as well, firing your score predictions of what you think the score is going to be. I'm going to go for England 6-0. I think it's going to be, if we can score early, I think it's going to be a demolition job. They're playing 5 at the back, Malta. And I think we beat them 4-0 on the reverse leg. So I'd imagine today we're going to get a little bit more space to exploit. And I think they're going to sit in. I think if some of them front 2 players are on it, then we should see some goals. So I'm going to go 6-0 England. Henderson, Maguire and Rashford already have their plane tickets booked for the Euros. I know, and that's the worrying thing about it. You know, you kind of would want to have sort of like not Pete. I've just seen another comment that's going to make me laugh in a minute. I've just seen another one, but yeah, you know, you kind of want players that don't know what their fate is, so they have to perform. So Martin here has put Peter Ferguson isn't playing. So basically, me and Martin's Irish. We was at We was at the social for what game was it? What game was it? Maybe West Ham. Might have been the West Ham game. And we got talking, and I asked him about Evan Ferguson, whether he was going to turn English. And it didn't go down very well with Martin. Martin wasn't impressed with my comments, so he's not really letting me live this down now. So so I've been told that Evan Ferguson is Irish, and there is no chance of him playing for England. And that was from Martin. Right, where are we going? So Michael's got a bit of Maltese in him, but I'm England through and through. Only just realised my stream was behind. Was wondering why Luke wasn't on yet. Yeah, you are normally late to the uploads, mate. So being late to the stream wouldn't have hurt. But Malta have come forward a little bit here, haven't they? What have they got? A corner? Malta have got a corner. Now, wouldn't this be a turn up for the Bucks if Malta... no, it must be a long throw. I think we might have a long throw going in here. Shout out to Dino, been a member for 11 months. Shout out. Thanks, mate. I did try and get some merch, but I left it a little bit too late, and I didn't really want to commit if it was too late and it was going to be rushed. So in the new year, I think we'll try and get some new merch coming out. Evening, Michael. Hope you're all right, mate. 7-1. Mick's gone for. That's a bold one. That's a bold statement. 4-0. 2-1 to Malta for out of the trash has gone 2-1 Malta. We've got 4-0 from Dino. Dino in the building. Gotta love. Not sure what that means. We've got 7-0 from Steve. 4-1, 7-0, 5-0, 4-0. So nearly 5 minutes have gone, and it's still 0-0. Might put the score on the screen at some point. With this generation of quality of players, no excuses for Southgate making the semi-finals is not good enough. Well, we're favourites, aren't we? We're favourites for the whole thing at the minute. So I wouldn't say we would, I mean, favourites, that's basically saying like we're 100% get into the final. Oh, I'm not sure about that. I'm really not sure. Not sure. In the chat, where do you think we're going to get to then? You have to put your initial thoughts. I'd say quarters, semis, maybe. That's where I'd be at. Oh, it was Luton. Luton, yes, that was it. Luton. Yeah, because I was thinking it was the game before. Yeah, it was Luton. Oh, you can't do it. You can't do it. I've been told that Ferguson is Irish. I did see the interview as well. He has said that he's fully committed to Ireland. I'll put money on it, not saying he should, just that he will. Martin, what have you got to say to that? What have you got to say? There's people disagreeing with you in the chat. We are playing Malta. Funny. 1-0. Imagine a Konsa winner. Oh my days. Konsa winner, and he'd probably never get picked for England ever again. Up the Villa podcast merch for the Europa Conference League final. Well, I think okay, here's in the chat then. Here's a question for you, because I know a lot of you in here are like loyal Up the Villa podcast. What would you prefer, like merch wise, if we was going to do any merch? Or England are through? We've got Foden, cut back. Oh, keeper, what's he done? What happened there? 1-0 to England. We've got Foden, who'd burst down on the right-hand side. I think it hit a player that just took it into it. The keeper. The keeper's flicked it onto the crossbar and it's gone in. So 1-0 to England, own goal. Foden took him away, crossed it, come off a defender, hit the keeper. Keeper's palmed it into the goal. 1-0 to England. Right, merch then. What would you say would be good? Because we've done different drops. We've done 2 lots of mugs. We've done T-shirts, which are a bit of a nightmare to do because of the different sizing and etc. But it's doable. And we've done woolly hats, which were quite cool. If you had to pick anything, what would you say? Right. Apparently, Ferguson is illegible to play for England anyway. He's too many Irish caps. Martin's fired back. He's from Bettystown. His dart would kill him if he saw him in an England shirt. It's well known. Yeah, so I think we're just gonna have to stick with Kane for now. So we've got pint glasses. That would be quite a good one. Pint glasses would be good. Hat, yeah, we've done them before. Hat, we've got hat, whatever's easiest for you. The beanie hats were good. I kind of would like to do hoodies. I think a good hoodie would be good, but that stuff like that's quite expensive to do because you have to sort of get the hoodie first and print on the hoodie, and then the cost ends up just rising loads. Baseball cap, yeah, that'd be quite good. I don't really wear caps, but beard trimmers. Does anyone remember that? Well, some of you probably wouldn't even have subscribed. Then when we were sponsored by Manscaped for the Euro 20. Would it be 2020? I don't know. The Euros around then when it was in England. We were sponsored by Manscaped, and yeah, it was all about shaving your balls and ball toners and stuff like that. So we were sponsored by Manscaped for a little bit. Keychain. What about little badge would be quite good. So someone was asking for badges before. Do a jersey, yeah, that'd be quite a good one. I like the beanies. The beanies were good. And up the podcast cushion. Stuff like that though. It's eclectic taste, isn't it? Because of what you might have in your living room or where are you gonna put it? Do you know what I mean? I think a cushion would be quite weird. You'd all get your cushion out and then your partners would be like, what's that? You'd be like, yeah, it's my new cushion. Not sure cushions would go down well. He probably wouldn't play, to be fair. He probably wouldn't play, so there's no point Cash being English because he wouldn't play. Oh no, Justin calendar, Justin. Justin, what month do you want Justin on? Justin will be in the kitchen with his little apron on, the naked chef. That'd be hilarious. That would. But yeah, you won't get me. I'm not being in the calendar. Imagine that. Be a joke. Rory Wilson will play for England. He's a good finisher. He's really good finisher. February for my birthday. Headphones. Again, that'd be expensive. That'd be expensive. Or are you saying why have I got headphones? So we've got 11 minutes gone, and we've sort of got Trent sitting in that role that he plays for Liverpool. We've got a couple of little willing runners. Again, just a bit boring, isn't it? It's a bit boring. Justin's June. Vin Diesel will sue Justin for copyright for the calendar. Fridge magnets. Good. That's a good one. That's a good show. That would be a good one. Right. So let's pick a topic then. Yeah, that's a good shout, Martin. Christmas jumper. That's a very good shout for next year because that Christmas jumper is an absolute banger that classic football shirts have done. So good. Absolutely love it. Right then. So, in the comment section down below, talk to me about Everton and Everton's 10-point deduction, which has took them down to 4 points. And I've been watching Toffee TV today, and they've been talking about the whole situation. And we've had them on our channel quite a few times now. And they were just talking about what's happened and the reason why that they're in that position of why that they've had the points. And I can understand that they've made a breach, so there should be a punishment. They have made a legitimate sort of, they've broke the rules of what it is. And the reason why they're saying that it's harsh on their punishment is because COVID hit, which is the same for everybody, but also there was going to be some naming rights or something around the club to do with their sponsor who had to pull out because he was Russian. So that all had to go their way. So that's why they've had this £19 million, whatever it is, they've breached the rule. And I can understand, okay, they've had to set a precedent and somebody has to be the first one, don't they? Somebody has to be the first one. But I don't understand how, if what they've done isn't sporting related, sort of on the pitch, why the punishment is on the pitch, if that makes sense. Because I don't know, it just feels really weird. And I think the overriding thought that I think everybody's got is what's going to happen with Chelsea and what's going to happen with Man City. And I understand that the Man City one's going to take longer because there's over 100 different incidents, whereas Everton's was just one. And I was listening to a bit of TalkSport in the car today, and they were basically saying that all of the Premier League teams voted that there's a 3-month period. So when that first claim comes in that you've done something wrong with spending, that they want 3 months. So 3 months to get it all and then get the punishment. And so it happens really quickly. So I can understand why Man City's is going to take longer. And what they were basically saying is there'll be certain clubs in January when they publish their accounts to the Premier League that they will have potentially 3 months. So there might be some other teams that get hit by some points deductions this season, sort of in March time. But yeah, I just feel like, the other side to it is as well is teams like Leeds would be fuming and teams that got relegated, and etc. But I just think, it really does feel like they've hit a smaller club first, so rather than hitting one of the big boys, and I just kind of, it's kind of like if Everton had been hit by this with one incident, one type of spending, what are Man City going to get? You're telling me out of 100 of those parts to that it's frustrating, and I think it's just so frustrating for football fans to see what happens. And then you've got that other thing of when all those, was it 6 clubs decided to try and join the Super League, and their punishments was just a fine for trying to leave the league. Yeah, it just stinks really, and it's just not good. But it's it's just opened it all up now, hasn't it? It's opened it all up now to see what's going to happen to everybody else. So let's see what you guys are saying. Right, so let's go with Bozzy's put Everton are lucky that it's this season and they will still be okay. Yeah, I think they'll be fine. You know, they're a win away from getting out of the relegation zone. They've been doing well, but then the other side to it is, you know, like Everton were doing quite well for Everton at the minute. Like I actually spoke to Baz off Toffee TV, and I was saying to him, like, you know what, I think a good season. I think we said it in the opposition preview earlier in the year, that in the season starting, that, you know, a good season for them. I mean, we carved open here, England. A good season for them would be finishing 12th. You know, Everton get 12th and build on 12th, and the next season and the season after when they go into the new stadium. You know, it's continual progress, but this 10 points now has potentially damaged their league position because they're now back scrambling around. And, you know, we talk about mentality in football and having that positive attitude, and the, you know, the vibe around Everton has been really good at the minute. They've been playing better, they've been getting results, they've been winning away from home, they've been doing well at Goodison. You take a bit of negativity now, Calvert-Lewin gets injured and he's out for, say, the season, and they haven't got a striker, and the backs are where they were last season, scrambling around for goals, where they could have had that buffer and that cushion to say, you know, we were pretty much going to stay up and we've done enough. You know, there could potentially be one or two injuries away now to key players being out, and they're completely not comfortable anymore. So, yeah, I really feel for the fans in this type of thing because, you know, they have broke the rules, so there should probably be a punishment. But it's always the fans that seem to have to suffer, isn't it, really? Shocking, Man City need a 54-point deduction. Michael's put, I think point deductions are wrong because they affect the fans and the club when it should be the owners and the business should be punished. I understand that you need to punish them if they have done wrong, but maybe a bit too severe, and City need punishing. Yeah, because the Premier League first initially wanted them to get deducted 12 points. You know that if we start thinking about clubs and the finances of some clubs, like if we look at Sheffield United, you know, Sheffield United had to get promoted last season. Otherwise, financially, it would have been catastrophic. But because they've got promoted, they've been able to get that money, but they're financially still not in a great place. And what happens when you start breaking the rules 2, 3, 4, 5 times? Everton have only done it once. So we've already seen they've got 10 points for one sort of like breaking of the rules. What happens if you do it 5 times? Do you get 20 points? Like, you know, it's, where does it stop? Where can it possibly stop? I remember Everton sympathy for us when we went down. There wasn't any. They break the rules and cheated. End of story. Yeah, I kind of don't think it's sort of. I don't think they've intentionally tried to break rules. That I think that's where the misconception of what's happened with them. I think they've been fully compliant with the investigation, and it's to do with COVID and the Russian sponsorship leaving when the war on Ukraine and Russia came, that he had to go and left them financially in a mess. They'd signed a contract, I think, for 200 million over the course of 20 years. There was 200 million signed, and it was something to do with each season they were going to get 10 million. And because that sponsorship came out, they ended up losing part of that contract, which has meant that they've been in this financial mess. So I think in this instance, you know, it was kind of out of their sort of control. From that's my knowledge of it all. Anyway, it's to do with the Russian sponsorship that ended when that war started. Lucky this didn't happen to them last season as they'd have gone down, but I think they'll still be safe this season. Everton could have had 25 points deducted and they still would stay up, judging by the 3 teams promoted. The next 5 games, Everton can win 2. Point deductions take away the competitive integrity of the league. That's the issue for me. Points shouldn't be deducted. People with the money at the top should be penalised. What club do off the pitch affects what happens on it. In the last 10 years, there have been 9 Villa players to play for England. Nice little stat. Rod's put, so does buying players other clubs are not allowed to because we followed the rules? Yeah, I think, but this Everton stuff, it's kind of nothing to do with them buying players. It's nothing to do with financial fair play of buying players. It's to do with kind of the opposite. Feel for them, but fines don't amount to much for EPL clubs, and points will make clubs careful. I hope Man City and Chelsea get heavier points deductions or even relegated. Yeah, I think that is always the thing as well, isn't it? With sort of giving teams a fine that have sort of, if it was an FFP issue, so you've spent too much money and then you're giving a team a fine and they're paying off the FFP fine with money. I think that doesn't really make much sense. Disgraceful FFP should not exist. Owners should be able to spend what they want and put extra money into the kitty in case the club suffers. Where does 10 points come from? Spending didn't boost by 10p. Maggat has put, I want them to go down. City will get a fine. City will get away with it. Well, imagine there's a lot of that. I do think Everton will get reduced to probably 6 points. So you think because they'll appeal it, they'll get it reduced? Man City start the next 3 seasons on -50. Yeah, what would they do with that? They'd still end up on, but they'd still probably nearly get Europa Conference League with that, wouldn't they? FFP only started to help prevent an eventual Super League, which has almost happened regardless. It's a fix. Tell you what is, what's that oil from Saudi going into FIFA as well? Is it Amcro or something? FIFA have just signed a big deal with them, haven't they? So that's Saudi money's getting its way into FIFA, isn't it? So Tomori has gone down injured. We're all thinking, get Konsa on. What's the score? Right, it's 1-0 to England. I'd make the Everton CEO buy a box at St Andrews and he has to sit through a 4 game. He'd probably take the 10-point deduction if it. God, what's happening to them? They're having a mare, aren't they? Kane's just cleared it. They're having an absolute mare. We'll get on. I'll tell you what, we'll get on to that in a minute. We'll have a laugh with that in a minute. We'll get on to that in a minute. The people running clubs should be held financially responsible, not the club's league position. Laughing up, this is so bad. No shots in half an hour with the best goal scorer in Germany, part of the team. Oh, what's going on here? There's a scramble in the box. Hold on a minute. Malta are swinging balls in here. Yeah, still 1-0. Not great, is it? Not great at all. Not going to lie, England look like a relegation Prem team here tonight. It's embarrassing that they are playing a pub team. Yeah, that's the one. Aramco. They've put money into Saudi, haven't they? Into FIFA. Because they've got the have they got the World Cup yet? Oh, what's that penalty? Yeah, pen. What's he saying? He dived. Oh, he's saying he dived. Hold on. What are we saying here? What's going on? Is he saying he dived? Hold on a minute. That's a stone waller, surely. That is an absolute stone. I know he dives, like he does normally dive in that situation. But that is definitely a penalty to me. Or I've either missed it or do we not have VAR? Where is VAR when you need it? I can't believe that. I can't believe that is a definite penalty. Right. I immediately said dive before the ref said dive. It's the way he went down for me. But on the replay, he's a pen. It was a Kane dived, apparently, but I don't think he did dive. I think it was a pen. We have VAR. Oh god. Right. So we are going to play the halftime games. So they are going to be at halftime, which I know you all love. Oh, Kane's through. What's he going to do? Oh, challenge, little flick from Rashford. Where's he going? Nowhere. Should we talk about Rooney? Rooney. I can't believe what they did. I cannot believe. I've got some Blues mates, and even them lot were like, I don't know why we're doing this. And then couple of weeks after he came, they'd lost a couple, and it was like, we've got to give him time, we've got to let him play out from the back, etc. I actually felt like Blues could have got promoted with Eustace. He just got that sort of championship knack about him of sort of being competitive, and I felt like he'd really sort of grasped how to be a championship manager. And then when they were sixth in the league, sacked him and brought him in. I mean, it's just a disaster. And one of the things was alarming for me was when after one of the games, they'd had some at half time, and he was like, I've spoke to the players, and if they can't do it, then we're gonna have to change it. And I thought, you've shown weakness there. Like when Unai came in at Villa, what did he say? He was kind of saying like, no, this is how we play, this is what we do, and we'll keep doing it. And Rooney was like, lads, what do you think? Like, if you can't do it, then we'll have to adapt. And I just think, it's ridiculous. So they're gonna have a mare, and I think they're in big trouble, because the thing is, it's like when we had Gerrard, in the sense of, it doesn't matter who you bring in. You can bring in superstars. You can bring in whatever player you want to bring in. But if you can't coach them, you're not going to be a good team. And I think if that board must be in that mindset of, let's get this player in, let's build it and do this. It don't work like that. They've had an absolute mare, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Probably. It is a Telecaster and a Strat. Yes. It is. This one. Got this one. So I've had that one absolutely years. And then this is my newest one. That's my newest one. That's a Strat. I can play a bit, but I go through phases where I play it for a bit and then I don't, and then I play it loads and I don't, and so if I picked it up and played it, I can play, but I'm not the greatest, but I can play songs. So 34 minutes, pretty boring, pretty average. We've got a bit of space here now. It's just doesn't happen, does it? Just doesn't happen. Like you watch us, and it's like it's difficult to watch. It's not an easy watch, and I can't tell you what we do. A lot of I love tactics. I love watching football, and when I watch England, I don't know what we're doing. I have no idea what we're doing. It's like Maguire here now. He's passed it to Henderson. What's the plan? Where are we going? We've gone out wide. Where's the movement? It's very static. And in my opinion, the last couple of games, Bellingham has saved Southgate, because Bellingham against Scotland saved Southgate, because when they got that goal, if it wasn't for Bellingham in that game, we would have probably lost that game. And there was another one where he stepped up. It was Italy, wasn't it? He stepped up in that one. So if it's not the Bellingham show, I don't really know what we're trying to do, and this is where my frustrations come from when I hear this is England's most successful period, in the sense of, well, what have we got to show for it at the minute? Because the style of football doesn't show for it. There's no philosophy. We haven't really created a culture of football. Sort of like how Spain did. Well, I think we live off moments, really, of individual players doing a bit of something, and if it works, then fair enough. It's a joke. I wish this was what we was watching. England is so dynamic, full of energy, and attacking players with darting runs non-stop. Just kidding. Just kidding. Corner. Straight into the keeper's hands. Every time you do Watchalong for England and watch about 3 minutes of the game, it's always boring. Well, the thing is, we meant to be watching Konsa, or we're meant to be watching Watkins, and I will be honest, those people that say, is there any of these people in the chat? And it's no biggie if you are, where people go, I'm England over my club. Like England is first, club is second. I know in my life, I will never ever say that phrase. I am Aston Villa over absolutely anything. Like club is like, I love it in the major tournaments. Like I absolutely love it. I'm fully invested. You know, I really want us to do well. I would cheer every goal. I'd be like, you know, like yeah, celebrating. But in a friendly, I don't do that. And I watch this and I'm just like, yeah, it's all right. It's on. It's whatever. You know, and when I'm watching England, I'm more bothered about the Villa players playing and their performance over what sort of England are doing, really. So, I mean, that's my thought on it, really. He did that before, even though, didn't he? Did he put Tamori at left back before, or he put Colwell, didn't he? He put Colwell at left back. He did this in the last game. Yeah, I know what you mean. I do think he's got better for Chelsea this season, Gallagher. I mean, long-standing viewers will know that in one transfer window, I was very big on Gallagher joining Villa. Um, so when he played for Palace, I really rated him, and then he had that season where it was just a bit not so great. But I do think he's looked better this season. I don't think he should be playing for England. I don't think he's international level quality. But I do actually think he's a good footballer. I'll actually rate his brother as well, who plays for Dorking. Any Dorking fans in the chat who watch Bunch of Amateurs? His brother's Dan Gallagher, who's the centre back for Dorking. Always want Villa to win 10 times more. Exactly. Exactly. Club over country. Definitely. I used to always be like that. Country over club. Unai and Southgate. Yeah, I think so too. That they must be, mustn't they? Like who says that really? Do you know who says that, right? Stan Collymore says that, you know. I always remember Collymore says it a lot. He will always be England over club. But for whatever he's got like loads of clubs he supports, and he really he says he's a Villa fan, but it just because he played for Forest, he's a Forest fan, or he's a Liverpool fan, or I don't get that either. I think that's a bit weird. I just started following AVFC and having a great time. First time in my life that I find a club play to play. I find club play to be more worthwhile than internationals, but rather watch Aston Villa. That is a great comment. Great comment. Jack has put controversial opinion. I think Stones is overrated. What do we feel about that? He's one a bit like Gallagher. That I think he's got better the longer he's been with Pep. Because wasn't there that period with Pep where he wasn't in the team at all, and it looked like they were going to get rid of him, and he stayed, and now he's sort of, you know, in this sort of like hybrid going into central midfield role. Maybe I'm making that up. Kane's got to watch it here, you know. Has he just made another foul, Kane? He's going to get a red card, Kane. Get Watkins on at half time. Get Watkins on at half time. Leon Bailey plays tonight. Zaniolo's played tonight as well, hasn't he? Stones is top quality. Overrated. Stones is fantastic. I think he went through that phase. Stones did where he was out the team, and I think that's where he was a bit off it. But in this Man City role, he's absolutely class. Um, and that's partly down to obviously he can do the job, but the system is unbelievable. Yeah, he is. That's what I think it is as well. I think it's Stones and the system. The system's like, absolutely fantastic. I've tried to watch a bit of I've tried this season to watch a bit of NBA. So I'm trying to just watch a little bit of that sport that I've trying to get into a little bit. I really like F1. So I've always watched F1 as a kid. Bit of cricket. I'll watch pretty much anything, to be fair. Apart from rugby, I did watch the World Cup, but apart from that, I'm not really into rugby. I don't think we've played very well here, have we? Let's try and get some of the stats on then. We'll remove the clock. Right, what we got stats wise then? Remove that comment. Right. So we're top of the group actually on 19 points, qualified as it stands. We've had 71% possession, 2 shots, none on target, which is just tragic. Tragic. None on target, ridiculous. We've made 369 passes, 92% passing accuracy. Average positions, I guess, would be quite dominant. But again, why does Kane need to be anywhere else apart from there? Like, this shows to me a frailty to our system. And I know he likes to do it, but he was doing it in like a crap Spurs team, this dropping off into midfield. Doesn't need to keep doing it. He needs to be a focal point to our team. And then we've got Malta, who are sitting pretty defensive. But they look decent on the break. They're catching England on the break. So, fair play. Fair play to them. It's the midfield as well. The midfield's unbalanced. Like, they had a little chance then. That was a nice little bit of play from Malta. Right then. Smash a like on the stream if you haven't already. Let's play the halftime games. Right. Any of you newbies who don't normally watch our watch-alongs, the rules are, and I guarantee you this halftime entertainment will be better than the game, right? I've just got to answer this question. Yes, I do know that we are winning the league. I've been mentioning it all week, my friend. We are going to win the league. Right, halftime game then. What you've got to do is this is a football player that's blurred. You've got to guess who that player is. Every time you get an incorrect guess, the player's picture will become clearer and clearer. A small disclaimer, I do go on decent runs with this. I don't know who these players are, but I do get them right quite often, I think. So if I had to kick it off with a player, I'm going to say that would be Paqueta. So that's who I'm going for. So in the chat, make sure you are firing your names of who you think that this player possibly is. There will be clues in the comment. There will be clues because you'll get, it'll go green if they're a Premier League player. It'll go green if they are a striker. It'll go green if they're a defender. So if we guess that, we'll be fine. Right. So we're ready. Should we go? I think a lot of you are saying Paqueta. So if I just move my screen around a minute, so I can see the comments then. Right. Should we go Paqueta? Right. No, it is not Paqueta. He doesn't play in the Premier League. He's not a midfielder, and he's not Brazilian. So someone's gone Tagliafico. If you've got this, oh my God. How has Kieran just guessed that? Kieran, what have you just done, my friend? That is unbelievable. Well done. Well, well done for getting that. Right, so should we do another one? Let's do another one. Play over leagues. We'll go. What's that? Get rid of that. Right. Who's that? You're getting a lot of love in the comments, mate. Everyone's saying well done for that. Who is saying that is then? Yeah, Weston McKennie. No, hold on, Kieran. Calm down a bit, mate. Calm down a bit. I think you've got this one as well. Oh no, because he wouldn't be in the Premier League, would he? Does look like Weston McKennie though. It does look like Weston McKennie, but it's not. Do you know what I'm going for? Do you know what I'm going for? This is a shout from me. Anton Robinson. No. Defender. It's a defender. I'm seeing like bushy out hair for some reason. And a forehead. It's a defender, so it can't be Cunha. Who's that? Yeah, Reece James. Reece James could be. No. English central defender. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. Someone's saying we're going to lose our guess here, but someone's saying Cash, but it can't be Cash. Can't be Cash. No, it's not Cash. Trying to think who it could be. This one's tough. Yeah, Bozzy. I think you might have it here, mate. Max Aarons. Oh, no. You haven't got it. You haven't got it. They teased you there, mate. You've just been absolutely teased there. You got it. You nearly got it. Who is that then that plays for Bournemouth? Does it begin with L? Name begin with L. I have no idea who this is. Smith. I have no idea who it is. No. Lloyd. Is it Lloyd Kelly? No. Yeah. Well done. I've got to say, guys, he's got another one. He's got another one. Bang on. So, Kieran, he's on an absolute roll at the minute. Right, absolutely smashed it. Let's go again then. Try and get another one. Oh, why is it doing that now? Bear with. Right. Who are you? Oh, these adverts, man. Right, here we go. Oh, I mean that looks very difficult. I tell you what, if you get this one right, Kieran, right, let's go. What are we saying there? I'm not having this right. If he has got Bergwijn, right, that is it. That is it. Right. Hold on. Let's just spell it right. How do you spell it? How are we spelling that Bergwijn? No, it's not. Does he still play for Spurs? No, it can't be him. Some of your guesses here. We got Ashley Young, Callum Wilson, and Matip. Right. He looks a bit. I don't know whether it's Matip. You know, he looks a bit. No, so he's not in the Premier League, and he's a defender. Vinish is a defender though. We're not in the Premier League now. He's a defender. Oh, this is a tough one. Alaba's a good shout. No, it's not Alaba. I think this one's gonna stump us, you know. I haven't got a clue on this one. You've all gone quiet in the chat. Oh, close. Bremer. We're in Serie A then. No, we're in Serie A. Oh, this one's so tough. We've got 4 guesses left. Which Danilo? Oh, we've got 2 here. We're Brazilian, aren't we? Dodo. No. We got Lodi. That's not Lodi. Danilo, Dodo. Got 3 guesses left. I'll just keep seeing Roberto Carlos. That's just what he looks like to me. Squint your eyes. It looks a bit. Oh yes, Bosley got it. Bosley got. I'd have never have got that. Well done, Bosley. I would have absolutely never got that. You two got it then. Fair play to you both. Class. Right, should we do? Okay, we'll do one. We'll do one more, but we'll do the football badge one. So it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same, but you have to guess the badge. So exactly the same concept, just guess the football badge. And I would say Levante. I'll kick it off with Levante. If I can spell it. How do you spell Levante? How do you spell Levante? Wolves. Nah, it's not Wolves. Is it Wolves doesn't have them little lines in it. We'll do a couple of what you guys are saying. So it's not German. I'm saying that not Levante's badge. Barcelona. Not sure on Barca. Oh no, looks a bit like Croatian, doesn't it? Real Sociedad. No. Reading. Boom. Reading. Definitely. Yes. Let's go. On a roll. Right. 2 subs, Walker and Saka are coming on. Let's do that then. Do one more. I guess. Oh my god. What's it doing? Right, let's see if we can do one more. I can't. Well, hold on. Let me just open another tab. Right. Don't think it lets you do this one more than once, you know. It lets you do the other ones more than once. Well, do one more of these then. Oh my god. Forlan or Modric? Looks like Modric, doesn't it? Gotta be Modric, surely. That one was too easy. Right. Let's do another one. Oh, it won't let you do that for some reason. Right. Should we them are two. I'm not even gonna bother doing that. They're too difficult. Right, let's do one more of these then. Right, go then. There we go. So that's the last one then. I'll let you guys do it. So we have kicked back off. 2 changes. We've got Walker that's come on for. Who's Walker come on for then? Alpha brother out. Loving the halftime entertainment. They've got a 2-on-2. Malta have got a 2-on-2. I couldn't find the right pass. Gone out wide to the left hand side. Can he get it across the great interception from Trent there? We're all over the place. I think that looks like a Real Madrid player. I think that's a Real Madrid player. Oh, it might be Rashford. Great shout. I think it's Rashford. No. Doesn't play in the Premier League either. Hakimi's a good shout. Hakimi is a great shout. And he's got another one. Kieran, what are you doing, mate? Are you just like the world's greatest blurred photo person? What? Is that 3 you've got? That's 3 that you've got. That is mental that you got Hakimi from there. Yeah, so if anyone wants to play this at home, it is on playfootball.games. And then on the left hand side here is all the different games that you can play. So, yeah, there you go. Weirdly enough, I started doing these on a stream. And the guy was like, "Oh, mate, you're playing my game on your stream," and it's a Villa fan who created the website, which is mad. So yeah, good little game that. Some of you are like, you're not up to date in the chat. Some of you got like Reading. You were saying Reading, like they're so far behind. Reading. We got this one here in a minute. There's one. There was one, and it was on a player, and we've all guessed it, and they've guessed the player. Tagliafico. But yeah, Kieran, you've done well there tonight. You've done well there tonight. Oh, talking of Rooney, he's in the crowd. Who's he watching? Who's he scouting? Henderson. Scouting Henderson. He'll fit in well at Blues, Rooney. Henderson, yeah, nice and mobile, mate. It's a bit of a name. He's been out and hitting the heights in Saudi. He'll come in and do a job for you. But to be fair, he probably does feel like he's watching Blues. But I think Philly's saying that he's saying well done for getting the Reading one right. He'll catch up in a bit and he'll realise. Come on, we need some spark here. We need Watkins coming on. We need something to keep us going. I mean, has no one else been impressed with Malta here? I think they're actually look at a half decent team. Foden, we've got a 3-on-3. It's gone out wide to Rashford. It's just so clumsy. Just, oh, it's crap in it. It's time. It's time for Watkins, I think. I think it's time for Cole Palmer as well, if I'm being honest. Oh, what a ball that is. I'll tell you what, they're going to score. Oh, he's handballed it. They look dangerous, Malta do, and they're catching us there. Billy, catch up, mate. Catch up. I'll try and when I watch England as well, because I've kind of got this like not negative opinion of Southgate, but I'm not his biggest fan. I try and sometimes watch it and watch the game without trying to be too harsh based on whatever. But I always just come back to the same thoughts of like, I don't know, I'd love to find someone who watches England and thinks, do you know what, we're really good. Like, we play great football, we're a joy to watch. Like, where are those people? Well, that's a nice touch. That was a nice touch there from Foden. That was a nice touch. Anybody watch the USMNT yesterday? Which is worse, this or last night's game? USA were dreadful despite the win. I saw the highlights. Robinson scored, didn't he? I think I saw Robinson's goal. I don't really watch much international football. I don't really watch it. What are our thoughts on Dougie Luiz then? There's the media have started to do those little if Douglas Luiz was to leave Aston Villa, it would be at a fee like Caicedo, like Declan Rice. Those little rumours have started to swirl, haven't they? My personal opinion is that we're in a different state to where we were with Grealish and other players leaving to go on and do bigger and better things. I think for Villa, I think when someone in the comments the other day said to me like, but it's the same situation with Grealish where we are now, and I was like, mate, we are way off. We're way from that. You know, all those years of sort of trying to sell the vision and sell where we're trying to go and be like, okay, we want you to stay. We want you to play well. We want you to, you know, we want to get Europe. We want to win things. We're now in a situation where we're actually living that moment now. So those type of players don't have to leave, and they won't leave. And Emery's built his team around. Hello, mate.
Good evening, everybody.
How are you?
Okay? All right.
Yes.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah. We're just watching this really dominant England performance. There's players that are moving out of position really fluidly, and it's a really good watch as normal. Justin, what have you made of it?
Absolute. Oh, I don't want to swear. Awful. Absolutely awful. I think it's been dire, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, a team we should be absolutely destroying. I don't know what to think. I think I mean, look at that. Like, players out of position. I don't know what it is about Trent in centre mid. I just can't have it. I know he's got a brilliant passing range. I know he's a talented footballer. I think it's almost like he's trying to fit him there because he's got this great passing range, and I think obviously Klopp did it, didn't he, at Liverpool, and it's like a clever thing to do to play him there. But I think he's far more effective bombing down the right, in the back five. Mm-hmm. So that's a weird one. I'm just not having Harry Maguire. I think one of the first things I saw when I turned it on was him give the ball away. And you're doing that against Malta. What a chance you got against the big boys. People like Konsa on the bench must just be thinking, how does this bloke get ahead of me for England? It's a joke. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big Southgate fan, you know that.
Yeah, and before you came on, I was sort of saying that whenever I watch England, whether my opinion on Southgate is, whether I rate him or not, I always try and watch England with sort of like try and take that out of the way, and I try and just watch us and see what the performance is like. And I said to these guys just that I always feel the same way watching England, that it's just
boring.
Crap. It's
boring. I mean, you look at I know, obviously from Villa fans' point of view, you see what elite level coaching does, and the movement and just phenomenal way we play football, the way we control the game, the way we build from the back. You watch England; it's just so haphazard. There's no real fluidity to the play. There's no structure to the way they're set up. I think with the players we've got, I mean, I'm of the belief that we've got such a great squad of players that you almost don't need a manager. You just say, pick an 11 lads and go. You'd win 90% of the games, wouldn't you, without a manager? So, But with the key moments when you need that tactical genius, that tactical awareness to win a tight game or a game against a team that's very similar to us in terms of quality of personnel, that's what he's lacking, I mean, if you put me in charge of England against Malta tonight, I'd probably get a better result than this. So you haven't got to be. You haven't got to be tactically aware, have you, to beat Malta? I'm sorry, you just haven't. And that's what I'm saying. 90% of teams we should beat.
I'm glad Palmer's coming on.
Yeah, he looks a good player, doesn't
he? Yeah, he's done well.
I suppose
there we go. Taking Henderson off.
Henderson should be nowhere near this squad. I'm sorry. He's been a good servant to England. He's had his moments, but playing in the sort of he's playing in like non-league football now, isn't he? How you can even begin to think with the quality of midfielders we have in this country that bringing Henderson over from the Saudi League is still a good option, a viable option when you're building for a major tournament as well. We've qualified. We're not playing until next year So he's going to be another year old. I mean, how old is he now? Is he 34, 35? He's not the future. He's not even the present, let alone the future. He should not be anywhere near this squad. Harry Maguire
But
should
why?
not be
Why
anywhere
do you
near
think
this
he
squad
picks him though?
because he's his mate. The one thing that Southgate said when he took over was, I'm not going to pick anybody on reputation, and that's what he's doing. That's what every manager does eventually for England. They just find a nucleus, a core of players that they trust, and they stick with them. But the glory of it being an England manager is you don't have to do that. You can pick players that are in form. And I know you have
I
to have a
mean,
certain stability to
the
each
thing is,
squad.
it kind of doesn't make sense because he's got Sterling, who's done
Yeah,
well for
not
England.
nowhere
He
near. Yeah,
scored.
yeah, nowhere
He
near.
scored 4 goals, 4 assists this season, and he's not playing.
No, madness,
I
isn't it?
don't understand that because if you are going into a major tournament, you want the players that are surely playing well towards that tournament because they're in form and they're full of confidence. So
I think you can
yeah,
make exceptions for certain players,
yeah.
but
Like
that I
say for
mean,
example
like the
Rice.
elite.
Like if
Yeah.
Rice was playing poor, like he'd still play for England.
Well, I think to an extent, any player would get a grace period, especially a player that's maybe played 40, 50, 60 games for England. Then I think you have to give them that grace period of saying, right, okay, you've done brilliant for me over the last 18 months, 2 years. But currently you're not in form. But I'm going to stick with you at the moment for stability because you've done so well for me. But the
Mm.
argument with Harry Maguire is that period of poor form has lasted for nearly 2 years, 18 months at least that I can think of. So he should not be anywhere near that squad. I don't mind it a month, 2 months. Calvin Phillips, another one, barely has played any football for 2 years, yet he's still in the England squad. He should not be in this
Yeah,
England squad. Playing for England when I was a kid used to be the pinnacle, and the only players that would get into that squad would be players that have been outstanding for the club sides. It was a reward, the ultimate reward for playing well for your club side. You got an international call up. Now it's like, yeah, you did well for me in one tournament, so that's you're set for forever. If you change the England manager tomorrow and brought another manager in, how many of this squad would be in the next squad if they looked at it from an objective point of view? And that's the argument, isn't it? He's not objective enough now, is he? He's got too many
yeah,
favourites. I
yeah.
think that's the way I see it anyway.
I think this is a good comment here that I like. If it wasn't for Jurgen Klopp, Henderson would have went the same way. Lee Catamol, Fabinho, Mane, Firmino, Wijnaldum, and Salah's selfless pressing made him look half decent, average. I think that's
Yeah, I think that's a fair
pretty
point.
good.
I think that's a fair point. Yeah, I mean, you always get. He went in as a leader, and he elevated himself to a leader of that squad. So he came. He had a bit of gravitas, didn't he? So he didn't lose his
Did
place
he
because
come
of
in
that.
when before Klopp was there?
Yeah, I think he was there before Klopp, wasn't
Was he sort of like the Gerrard replacement?
he? Well, I suppose captain-wise he was, but he's not
Because
fit
he
to lace
came from
Gerrard's
Sunderland,
boots
didn't
as a
he?
footballer. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't understand it. I really don't. I think it's a cop out to play. Yeah, Brendan Rodgers. Yeah, it's a cop out to just continually keep picking these players.
Yeah. Yeah, there's another question here about Southgate and where would he go? He probably wouldn't go for another managerial job, I don't think. Do you? I think he'd go upstairs
I'd be
somewhere.
surprised. I'd be surprised if a Premier League club took a punt on him. I really would. It would be
I
very
don't
telling.
think.
No, I think it would be very, very telling when he does pack up with England, where he found himself. And I think if he's got any sense, which he's obviously an intelligent chap, his role and he's the way he's done the good things he's done for England is, for me, everything has been off the pitch. He's the work in bringing the squad together, in creating a harmony off the pitch. It wasn't that long ago when you had cliques within the England dressing room where you'd have the Liverpool players sitting with Liverpool, the Man United players sitting together, and it became very difficult to gel them on the pitch because they wouldn't talk off the pitch. So he's done a very good job of creating that team England, if you like. So for me, he would be a great director of football for the FA, overlooking all of it. Doing it as a sort of office, an office bloke sitting there with his little tracksuit and his
on reception.
Yeah,
on
but
reception.
On the pitch, I mean, he got the job by default, didn't he? Because of what happened to Sam Allardyce, and he got given it, and he got a few good results. And like I say, I think there's nobody should be getting poor results for England unless you're playing in the major tournaments towards the business end of major tournaments. We should qualify for. I'm not being big-headed, but we should qualify comfortably for most tournaments with the current crop of players and the players we've had over the last 6-7 years. We should be qualifying comfortably for every tournament, regardless of manager. Yeah, regardless of manager, that should happen. And we should get out of most groups because we're ranked. We're always ranked quite high, aren't we, within the coefficient ranking? So we get to sort of become the number one ranked team in all the groups as well. So we should comfortably get through them. And he's done that, and that's allowed him this prolonged period as England manager because he's managed to pick up one or two good results and then get to a semi-final and a final. My argument has always been, and I stand by it, we should have won a trophy.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, if Unai Emery had been England manager for the last 5 years, we would have been double champions. We'd have won the Euros and the World Cup.
Yeah. Well, I think we still get to. I think the thing is, he's been in the job 7 years now, and you've still got that same question. When we play someone any good in a big major tournament, are we going to win? And the matter is that we're not winning those games.
No. When push comes to shove, he's not tactically aware enough, and he's too negative, isn't he? He's not. When we should be going for it in certain games, he just sits back.
He's not. The thing is, you look at all those games. The semi-final, the final, even the game against France when we were really getting on top in that game, weren't we, against France? And he's not proactive enough, is he? He's very reactive.
The one for me was the Croatia semi-final, where basically Modric was running the show. We got ahead, and instead of shutting the game down and shutting Modric down and trying to see it out, he just totally ignored Modric was running the show, and everybody could see at some point they were going to pick us off, and they did. And then he didn't have the tactical nous to try and turn it around, and they just turned us over. Same with Italy, like you say, 1-0 up. With the players we had, we should have put the. You would never see a Villa team go 1-0 up at home and just sit on that 1-0 and sit back and just try and. We go for the second and the third, and Southgate, with the players we have, you should be destroying teams.
But do you not think though the funny thing is as well is we're talking elite football here. Like England are an elite nation. We are one of the biggest nations. So it's not like we're talking about sort of like I don't know, name a team like it's not like we're talking about Poland who are like they're at every tournament. They're all right. The funny thing is that Emery's coming to Villa, and after a year, you can pretty much see how we play and what we do. Like, if you understand the team, you can really see it. But 7 years later with England, if I said to you, what's England's style of play? What would your answer be?
I'd say it's like watching Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa.
But that's a big
none of us knew what that was, did we?
it shouldn't matter now what players play for England. We should be able to function properly as a team, because if
Especially
you
like
get
you
it
say,
drilled into you,
after having a manager for 7 bloody years, it's a great point. There should be an identity, shouldn't there?
yeah,
And,
that's what my
as that
problem is.
as those years evolve and the years roll on, then that identity remains, and all that happens is you implement and you bring new players in that are either better than what you've got, but they're coming into a way and a style and a philosophy that's already embedded within England and the FA. And by 7 years, the under-21 should be playing the same way. The
Well, yeah,
under-18 should be
that's
playing
what I
the same
mean.
way.
You know,
Everybody should be playing the same way,
yeah,
which is what happened at Villa, and that's took 12 months. You go and watch a lot. You and me go and watch the under-21s at Bodymore a lot, and it's like watching the first team.
yeah,
The movement, the style, the formation, the intricate way of playing, the sitting off and playing out from the back. It's all like watching the first team.
yeah,
And after 7 years for England, you watch the under-21s. There's no philosophy there without them either. And like
yeah,
this England team tonight, 1-0 up, own goal against Malta after 70 minutes. And what's the magic word we're looking for now? We're looking for a moment of magic.
yeah. And the other thing
And we
is about
should
this
be
Malta
battering
team.
them.
This Malta team haven't got a point yet in this group. They're on minus 17 goal difference, and they haven't got a point. And they're playing really well. They've caught us on the counter a couple of times.
Well, just looking at the stats here, our expected goals after 73 minutes against Malta at home with 71% possession is 0.27. And we've had one shot on target.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that is woeful. And we might very well now go on and score 2 or 3 in the last 10, 15 minutes when Malta tire. And that will once again just gloss over what's been a pretty dire performance from England. And he'll come out after and he'll say the same things, these players have played a lot this year and, I'm asking a lot of them to play and, blah, 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 blah. Just go away, Gareth, please go away. He's
Go
ruined.
away.
He's
Go away.
He's genuinely ruined my love of watching England.
Yeah, because I asked
used to
this
love
question
watching
earlier.
England.
Okay, I asked this question earlier, and I know you'd say Villa, but I basically said that, are you club or country and then club? Because I'm club then country, but you're a passionate Englishman. You are a passionate, England fan as well. You absolutely love this country to bits and stuff. So
absolutely,
that's quite a good goal. Is he offside?
I think that's offside. I think that last pass is offside. Okay.
Yeah, that was a nice goal. But for someone like you who's really passionate, like to hear you talking about England like that, it's not the greatest, is it?
No, when I was younger and going back to late 80s, early 90s, Italian World Cup 90 was the first when it really sparked for me, England. I would always answer that question as it was pretty even. No, it's onside 2-0. I'd say it's even. I enjoyed watching England as much as I enjoyed watching Villa. Because they were. I don't think you should have to say club or country. I understand the argument and the conversation, but why should you not enjoy watching England and your club? I mean, I love cricket. I love going to watch Warwickshire, but I love going to watch the England national team. I don't like one over the other. I like both. They both bring me joy. And that should be the same with watching England. England should be the pinnacle. And obviously we have these breaks now, which we never used to do. When I was younger, you'd have an international game on a Wednesday, but it wouldn't break up the games from a weekend. You'd have a game on the Saturday, then an international game on the Wednesday, and then another game on the Saturday. So it's like, it's a shame. It's a shame that it's become an argument because, you should be able to enjoy both equally. But I don't now as much as I do. I love watching Villa now. Obviously, that's amazing watching that.
Oh my god!
Yeah. What did I say? What did I literally say to you about 2 minutes ago? Malta tire will go and score 2 or 3 late goals, and everyone will go, fantastic performance, Gareth. What a genius you are.
That's what Billy just said. 3-0, just in spot on, Malta tiring.
You can see it coming from a mile away. We've put a couple of good players on. We've opened them up. Malta fell apart. They'll probably lose 5-0 now, 6-0. And it'll be Southgate smashing Malta. But we've played any other guy. We've played any other team tonight. You play Italy like this, we'd be 2 or 3-0 down there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's frustrating.
Has Zaniolo got on for Italy?
Let's have a look.
Oh yes, he's just come on.
Has he?
Zaniolo come on in the 61st minute. Yeah, that's good. It'll be an interesting game, the last game in the group, though, because Italy are playing Croatia. No, Italy are playing Ukraine, aren't they?
Are
they? Yeah.
Villa
versus England score prediction. We would smash this team. Villa would beat them 2 or 3-0 at Villa Park.
He's had 2 successful dribbles, Zaniolo.
There we go. Come on.
Yeah.
They're not going to give this Rice goal. They're going to disallow this Rice goal, I think. Hold on, he's going offside, 2-0.
Offside?
I didn't see that. Why is it offside? Hold on, why is that offside? Let's just rewind this and have a look. So they're giving it offside. Has anyone seen that Bertrand Traore goal?
No, has he scored today?
He's literally, for the older people amongst the watchers, if you remember Ricky Villa at Wembley, do you remember the Ricky Villa famous FA Cup goal?
No.
Google it after, Luke. YouTube it after. Ricky Villa basically waltzes through about 6 players in the box and then just chips it over the keeper.
That's classic Traore, though.
It's literally Bertrand Traore to a T. It's a great
goal. He's just got that in his locker. What he'll do now is he'll get on his flight to come back to Birmingham. He'll walk off the plane, trip over his shoelace, and he'll be out for 3 months. That's Traore.
You know what?
He goes to his country,
is that a song?
That's it.
When he gets off the plane, he will trip on his shoelace. That's Traore.
I guarantee you, he's injured now. All the time.
Yeah. But to be fair, you know what? I quite like having him on the bench because he's a nice little option to have, isn't he? If you need somebody, just if you're winning and you don't want to, risk anybody to get injured or whatever, then it's quite nice just chucking him on because he's got a bit of, as we saw at Leicester away last year, he's got that genius factor in his boots, isn't he?
That's one of the best memories I've had in a long time at a football match.
I know, what a finish. What an end to a game.
Because we were just like we were still going for Europe and we were just like 1-1 in the last minute and it's like bang.
Needed that goal.
And it was like, the scenes in that away end were sublime.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There was just bodies going everywhere. It was brilliant. So where are we here now? We're through, aren't we?
Yeah, we qualified before this. I think we had to win both of the games to guarantee top ranking in the group. I think something like I heard earlier. And I've got to say, I loved him at Villa, but Dion Dublin is a woeful commentator.
Is he commentating on this?
Oh my God! The first goal, the own goal. He said, "If anybody follows me on Twitter, I've clipped it and put it on Twitter." He said he made a good save, the keeper. He went in.
Oh, God. Crazy.
Yeah, it's not good.
What's your thoughts on Everton?
I was meant to have a good read of actually of everything. I mean, from what I'm hearing, it seems to be pretty harsh. For how many FFP breaches is it for? Just one, is it?
One,
Was there a
19
cap
million.
on for them? Right.
19 mil.
I mean, you look at like a City, they're facing what 100 and something charges.
Yeah.
So if Everton have got a 10-point deduction for maybe one or a handful, then the FA have backed themselves into a massive corner now, haven't they? Because if they find anything wrong with the City, well, and Chelsea, they're under the cosh with it, aren't they, as well? Then they've got to do the same, haven't they? And it's opened a massive can of worms. You know, the three relegated teams, haven't they? They're talking about
Yeah.
suing them now because they got relegated. And yeah, it felt a bit harsh. I've got a lot of time for Everton. I like Everton as a football
Yeah,
club.
me too.
I talk a lot to, well, we on the pod. I do a couple of pods with lads from Everton, and they're good lads, you know, and they're good. They're a nice club, Everton, very similar to Villa,
Yeah.
really. So yeah, but I think they'll be okay. I don't see them. We had a chat on the group chat, didn't we? I don't see them getting relegated this season because I think the bottom three are so poor.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's well, they've had a chance there, haven't they?
Yeah,
Do you think he's gonna bring someone on now? Just a little cheeky Konsa cap. Just let him have his cap, like.
it'd be nice. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? I don't think he will. He doesn't like Villa, does
He doesn't
he? He
know.
don't think
Just
Villa, really.
yeah,
Which I don't know why, because I loved him as a player at Villa. He was phenomenal for us. I remember when we signed him from Palace, what £2.5 million as a centre half, and then as a centre midfielder. Sorry, came in as Palace's centre midfielder, didn't he, for Villa? And then we turned him into one of the best centre halves in the league. And then decided he wanted to go and win things, so he signed for the mighty Middlesbrough. Absolute plank. Yeah, I think Mick makes a good point. Don't risk him now. We don't want Konsa to get an injury, do we? With 5 minutes to go.
yeah. No.
Or Watkins. We got Macedonia, haven't we? On is it
Well,
Monday?
they
Tuesday?
won't play in that, will they?
Wouldn't have thought so unless Watkins might get a run out. It depends what
Do you reckon?
Bayern Munich. Maybe they want Kane not playing both games. I don't know. That was an interesting stat today. Harry Kane has scored more goals already this season than the top scorer in the Bundesliga last season. It's mad, isn't it?
Oh my god.
He's had a phenomenal start there.
Yeah, he's playing really well for him, isn't he?
Yeah. So that goal he scored at the from the halfway line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
There's a big quality difference in that league, though, isn't there?
Yeah, I think it is. It's not the strongest of leagues, is it? The top two are
You got
pretty good, but
then you got
the rest are
Leverkusen
pretty
who are
average.
playing pretty well, but
Have they got any more wingers we can have?
well, I've got a fullback, haven't they?
Have they?
Frimpong. I'd have he'd be classy, would.
Yeah. That's not the one that was at Arsenal, is it?
No.
There was a Frimpong at Arsenal, wasn't there?
Yeah. He was a
Midfielder.
midfielder, wasn't he, I think?
Yeah, I think so.
Big week next week. Content. We've got a lot of content coming out. Previewing the big game. The big game. They're all big games coming up now.
I think I'm heading down to Spurs as well, I think.
Oh yeah. Nice. Have you been before?
So, I've been to the old White Hart Lane many times, but I've not been to the new stadium.
Oh, just did. It's brilliant.
I know,
So
yeah,
good.
it's supposed to be brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just unbelievable.
I'm just debating how to get there because it's a bit of a mission, isn't it, on a Sunday?
I think when I go, there's like a long walk. Is it Seven Sisters? Because
Seven Sisters Road, yeah.
it's rammed around there after the game, like the congestion.
Well, I was going to drive, and then I realised that the new ULEZ congestion charges now goes past Tottenham Stadium, so you have to pay for that. Parking's apparently absolutely woeful around there. So it looks like I might maybe get the train down to Euston and then get the train.
Or are they all on?
Tube up to. I think so, yeah. I think so. So yeah, train down to Euston, then the tube up to White Hart Lane.
It's a good
bit of a mission, but I think it'll be worth it to go and see a smash Spurs on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You miss it, don't you? Really, the Villa when you have these little breaks.
It's rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, big few weeks coming up, isn't it?
Yeah. Have you got your has your Christmas jumper come?
Not yet. No, I thought it might come today. Actually,
really,
I was expecting it today.
Oh, save. Who's going to win the cricket?
Pretty comfortably India, I think.
Yeah, they've smashed it, haven't they?
A lot of controversy. They're saying that they've been getting the pitches perfect for their team, which they shouldn't have been doing in an international.
You're not allowed
tournament.
to do that.
Well, it's not that you're not allowed. It's a home tournament for them, but it's an international World Cup where every team's playing. Normally, you find travelling teams, like if England go to Australia or they go to India, you expect to play on pitches that they make good for them. But I think, in a way, doing it for an international World Cup when you've got 10 teams going, I think it's a bit poor that you just every time you play, the pitch is perfect for you. It should be really a level playing ground, shouldn't it? Pitches should be the same for everyone. I think that's been the argument. I've seen quite a few people moaning, but they are probably the best team at the moment in the world. One dayers, we've had an absolute mare, so time to rebuild the England one day team.
Yeah, I went to while he was on holiday. I went to watch Stuart Broad talk.
Oh, the Broad,
and
you good?
Yeah. That Bazball phrase. He doesn't like it. What's his name? McCullum.
Brendan McCullum.
He doesn't like the term Bazball.
Yeah, I heard he got a bit annoyed when it was coined.
Yeah, but it was really good just hearing about his insight on the way he does stuff. Like he was saying that Broad would be in the changing room and he would say McCullum, he was sort of having his legs massaged and it was late in the day. And McCullum came into him and was like, "Come on then, get your bat and pads on and that, you're going out." And Broad was like, "What? It's like Night Watchman?" And he was like, "No. Nighthawk, you going out as?" And I was like, "That's class." And he was like, "What do you want me to do?" And he was like, "Swing it." And I was like,
"Go at him, yeah."
Yeah, and he was like, for me as an old player, to have that mentality shift, different way of doing it. It was really good, to be fair. It was really like it's funny, to be fair. It was good.
Yeah. I like Stuart Broad. He's a nice bloke.
Yeah.
Very really softly nice spoken, isn't he? You don't expect him to talk like that, do you?
No.
Yeah. He's married to one of them. Is it the Saturdays? He's married to one of them.
Yeah.
I think.
It's that Molly King, isn't it?
This is how interesting this England game is. We're now talking about.
I know.
That gives you an insight into Gareth Southgate in England.
Yeah. Cheers, everyone, for watching, though. We've had quite a few watching, so cheers.
It's
I
been far
imagine
more entertaining than watching the first half.
Yeah. Just wish we'd have had a Villa player on, but what can you do?
Anyone else think that was it Cole Palmer? Looks like that
Yeah.
kid off TikTok. Can't
Which
think of his
one?
name. There's a kid on TikTok looks just like him. Is he from Wolverhampton?
What's his name? Luke Bennett.
That's it, yeah. Everyone else think he looks like Luke Bennett.
Don't look like Luke Bennett.
Doesn't he? Oh, right.
No.
I thought he did.
What are you doing on TikTok?
I'm also on TikTok, mate. checking out our Up the Villa podcast TikTok.
6 minutes added on. So unnecessary.
Leighton's just put on Twitter. Just had enough of watching that rubbish, so switched on YouTube to listen to you pair talk about you, Les, and Christmas jumpers. I can tell I'm not missing much. Southgate has to go.
Yeah, it's been a tough game to watch.
I mean, 2-0. I was going to go and stick a bet on England. I was going to stick about over 5 goals. I'm glad I never got to the bookies now. I was late home. Yeah, I've just seen that Son picked up an injury. I don't think he has. I think he's okay.
No. Yeah, I think he's okay.
I think he came off as a precaution, but he's okay. Be interesting to see how this game is received in the press tomorrow. It'll just be written off as we've qualified anyway. It doesn't matter.
It was about getting the job done. It was about qualifying for the major tournament. We should be talking about how we've qualified and, we've had a great campaign, blah, blah, blah. All that time. We've been able to blood some new players in. We've gave minutes to players that have never played before.
Yeah, you can write it, can't you?
And then he'll be like, the last game, so Gareth, were you impressed with Mark Guay's performance tonight? And he'd be like, no, I'm more impressed with like Harry Maguire's application tonight. I felt like he'd done really well. He talks like
brilliant centre mid.
Yeah, he ran the game.
Yeah, he's so boring though. You don't turn it on, and you don't think, oh, great, England are playing tonight. Can't wait for that. You just think, God, is there nothing else on? Let's just watch a bit of England.
Did Scotland win? Scotland were losing last I saw.
I think it finished 2-2. I think.
Are they through? They are through, aren't they?
I think they qualified before that, didn't they?
Yeah. They're 3 points behind. No, 2 points behind Spain now.
Scotland. They drew 2-2 with Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second in the group, but I think they qualified. Only one game left, isn't it? I think he was captain.
Was he?
Yeah, captain.
Yeah, he played all game.
That's it. Game over.
Right, cool. Switch it off. Right. Cheers, everybody who has watched. You're all legends, and We've had loads of content out this week. Next episode will probably be out. Don't know yet. But we've got all of our normal stuff coming out next week anyway. So cheers, everyone. Up the Villa.
Up the Villa.